Welcome to Bill's Bridge Corner, Friday, March 14th, 2014. Class 142, Introduction to 2 over 1. 2 over 1 has been gaining in popularity over a period of time, and it has some advantages and disadvantages over the so-called standard American system. It's up to you to decide whether you want to use 2 over 1 and which possible versions, because there are multiple versions, and perhaps when to use or not to use 2 over 1. But I digress. Let's begin at the beginning. The concept of 2 over 1 is pretty simple. After an opening bid of one of a suit in first or second position and an intervening pass, a suit bid by responder at the 2 level without a jump is a game force, and neither side can pass short of game. Concept is quite simple. Why do 2 over 1? We're going to see why over the next several classes. The partnership can comfortably describe their hand without fear of being passed. Whenever you are forced to a certain level of the bidding, there's no need to jump. You take the time to describe your hand, and only when you get to the point of the level that you're forced to do you need to decide whether to jump, to pass, or do something else. It keeps bidding at a low level and allows both sides to describe their hand more fully. That's the concept. What changes must I make to my current standard American system in order to incorporate 2 over 1? How do you implement it? When partner opens 1 diamond, 1 heart, or 1 spade in first or second position and you have less than an opening, you can't bid a new suit at the 2 level. Therefore, the response of 1 no trump to a major, and in some cases also to 1 diamond, but that depends upon you, must be expanded to include hands of up to 12 high card points. Stop and think of that. When does 2 over 1 apply? 2 over 1, when is it not in effect? It is not in effect when opener does not open 1 diamond, 1 heart, or 1 spade. It does not happen when responder is a passed hand because he can't have an opening hand. And it opens when responder's left-hand opponent bids or doubles, the game force is no longer in effect. Some questions and answers about 2 over 1. What happens if the opponents intervene after the game force is in effect? Good question. The partnership must decide whether to penalize the opponents or bid game, or possibly slam. Whatever the case, they cannot allow the opponents to play an undoubled contract. More questions. What are the advantages of 2 over 1? We're going to demonstrate those in the next 2 or 3 classes. There are several advantages to 2 over 1. The most important one is that both partners can describe their hand without fear of being passed. We're going to see examples of that tomorrow. There is no need to jump because jumping has a very specific and descriptive meaning when you do jump. And there is more accuracy in game and slam bidding. If that's the case, then why don't we always just go 2 over 1? More questions. What are the disadvantages? And there are some disadvantages too. The first disadvantage is the obvious one. You need to make 1 no-trump response to a major suit opening as forcing or semi-forcing, and we'll cover the difference here in the next couple days. As a result, you may occasionally miss playing in a 1 no-trump contract. You may be in a minor suit contract at the 2 level as opposed to a major suit or no-trump. In duplicate for a part score, that may be disadvantageous. Are there variations of 2 over 1? Yes, there are at least 3 and possibly more. Some allow opener or responder's rebid of his suit allow the partnership to stop short of game. That's particularly true after the bidding goes 1 diamond, 2 clubs. that particular sequence. If the responder rebids his minor suit, it allows partnership to stop short of game if both sides are minimum. Others don't. Some play one-note trumpets, semi-forcing versus forcing. I would suggest semi-forcing, and we'll cover that in the next day or two. Where is this on the ACBL convention card? It's right at the top. General approach. 2/1 is one of the possibilities. Notice there are two possibilities. 2/1 is game forcing, or game forcing except when a suit is rebid. Semi-forcing or forcing is the response to a major suit opening. It can be forcing, semi-forcing, or neither. That's where you mark it on your convention card. Tomorrow, Class 143, we're going to look at the advantages of playing a 2/1. See you tomorrow.